Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John. I am the Senior Strategist here at FFR Trading, and I wanted to talk to you today about our Turtles Commodities program, one of our longest running programs that we have here at FFR Trading. The reason why I want to talk about commodities is, as you well know, 2020 was pretty much a disaster, right? So we had this worldwide pandemic that hit early in 2020, and not soon thereafter, we had a 30% nosedive in the S&P 500, and stocks have been, since recovered, but become volatile, and people are looking for, something where they can gain some diversification in their portfolios. And as you'll see, commodities is going to be a great space to do that. Now, 2021, just when we thought we put 2020 behind us, 2021 is shaping up with even more volatility here. We've seen our capital under siege. We've got political chaos going on here with the second impeachment happening. And so stocks, is going to be a very risky proposition with, much more potential for downside than upside at this point. I was listening to Charlie Munger, who is the partner with Warren Buffett in Berkshire Hathaway. And Charlie was saying that he believes the next decade stocks will vastly underperform what they've done in the prior decade. And this piece from Goldman Sachs, this came from Seeking Alpha. Their head of research, commodity research, Jeffrey Curry, says that the world is entering a long-term, long-lasting bull market for commodities. And most investors, and this is key, are not positioned for the forthcoming reality, even though the transition is already underway. And that's the reason I want to bring to you our fantastic Turtles Commodities program, because this is a program that can have you perfectly positioned to take advantage of this next decade. And we'll take a look at some results from the program, even when the market was crashing, how the commodities were doing, really coming to life here. So some information about us here at FFR Trading. We've been evaluating trading and investment strategies for 15 years. Right? And we're basically a due diligence firm, because what's happening is you can go on the internet and you can find thousands and thousands of traders making all sorts of wild claims about their strategy in terms of profits. But what is real? How do you know what's real? Because it's very difficult to get some brokerage statements from a lot of these traders who are, let's face it, really more marketers than anything else. All right, so that's where we come in. We're a due diligence firm, and we put the traders and their strategies through a certification process. And we'll talk about that in just a minute here. And it doesn't matter what markets you're interested in, whether you want to trade futures or Forex or stocks or commodities, index futures. We have a number of traders trading 20 different strategies in all these different markets. Okay, and the traders and developers that we work with, very successful, very well known in their respective specialties. So here's a glimpse at our 8-step trading process. I'll just touch on this briefly. But basically, step number one, each developer or trader has to be referred to us by a trusted third party. So it could be like another brokerage firm, let's say. Number two is they have to be licensed or have been licensed. Step number three, they go through a application process, interview process with us. And step four, we verify that each strategies, the trading rules are real. They actually work in the current markets. Step number five, now it says 10 years of actual trading experience. It's 15 years now. So we're looking for a veteran, somebody who's experienced the booms, the busts, periods of volatility and low volatility. And they've been able to generate profits even through all those different market conditions. Step number six, the developers are required to show us a back test. And then step seven, we get their brokerage statements going back at least 3 to 5 years. Now, if they're able to pass all those 7 steps, all right, we get to step 8. We run the strategy on a live test account. We make sure everything is working properly, everything's executing properly, the strategy is performing as anticipated. All right. Once that's done, if that looks good, then we release the strategy to our clients and make it available to them. All right, so let's talk about this Turtle Commodities program. Again, why commodities? Because the next decade is setting up to be the decade of the commodities. Stocks may vastly underperform the next decade what they've done in the prior decade, like I said, according to Charlie Munger. Let's talk about this, the turtles. Some of you, maybe you're familiar with the turtles. If you've been around, maybe you've heard of them. If not, I'll kind of tell you the story briefly here. But back in the early 80s, if you've ever seen the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, I'm kind of dating myself here. But that was loosely based on a true story. But the true story goes like this. Richard Dennis borrowed, I think it was $400, family loan, to trade commodities. Well, he turned that into over $200 million in just 5 years. Okay, so he created this wildly successful trading strategy. And he had a partner, and he was, I believe they were over in Singapore on a turtle farm or near a turtle pond. And Richard Dennis, turned to his partner and said, I think we could take anybody off the street. I don't think I'm unique. I think we could take anybody and teach them our strategy, and they could become a great trader. And his partner said, you're crazy. Traders are born. They're not made. And so they made what ended up being, I guess, $1 million bet. And when they flew back to Chicago, they took an ad out in the Wall Street Journal inviting anybody off the street to come and interview for a position as a trader. And that original class, I think they picked 14 people, had no trading experience, taught them their strategy for 2 weeks, sat them in a room. At the end of the 2 weeks, gave them $1 million, put them out on the trading floor, and they began to trade. And those that were able to follow the rules that they were given in the classroom made a ton of money. Now, Russell Sands, who's pictured here, right, was one of the original 14 turtle traders in that group, who went on to create his own turtle trading program. And they've been working together. Here's his team. They've been working together for 20 years now. And they continue on, as Russell has passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. But his team, a very experienced team, Dwayne Davis, Jeff Davis, Steve Charpentier, who was the head trader there, were with Russell for 20 years. Okay, and they tweaked the turtle trading system that originally started with commodities. So now they're trading options on stocks and ETFs, Forex, so they've adapted the strategy for the different markets as well. Okay. So we'll talk about the breakout momentum turtle commodity strategy today. We'll take a look at the trade academics, some of the performance statistics of the program. We'll review some actual brokerage statements, what the trade alerts look like, and some of the educational material of the course. All right, so here's some of the academic guidelines. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If you subscribe to the program, you actually get a trading manual on the strategy. It's over 400 pages long and about 7 hours of video. That will go obviously in depth in all of this information. But basically, it's a breakout strategy, okay? And they'll hold positions for around 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes longer. As you know, they're kind of the masters at cutting losses short and letting winners run. So if they catch something that begins to run, they'll ride that trend as long as they can. The system does have several different portfolio size commodities to trade. So depending on the size of your account, you can take a look here at some of the breakdowns. Account sizes between 15 to 25,000 are going to trade these 4 markets here. As your account size grows, you're going to add some commodities, right? 9 markets here for 35 to 50,000 and so on, all the way up to there's 50 different markets that they're trading. So this alone gives you additional diversification as well within your portfolio. Now here's an example. This is Russell Sand's actual commodity trading statement here from Rosenthal Collins for 2018. This was starting in January of 2018. We'll look at the whole year. We won't go through all 60 pages, but I'll kind of bottom line it for you here. And this is before he passed away. He had started the account, and this was an auto-traded account, basically trading the total commodities system alongside the clients. And where the signals get sent to the broker, and the broker's automatically executing those trades. All right, and started with about $73,000, about $74,000 here. I think that's, I apologize, 71, almost $72,000 is what he started with in January of 2018. And if we look at the, this is now in December, the end of December of 2018, so after the full year of trading, and the account at market value of $502,770 at that point. So that's $431,000 of profit by the end of the year. Okay, pretty phenomenal. But that's the kind of thing that you can do with commodities. So you're talking, what is that in terms of percentage? Almost 600% return in 1 year. All right, but this is the potential that you have in the commodity markets. And think about, especially as the returns in stocks begin to diminish over the next decade, what this is going to do for your portfolio, not just for diversification, but your growth now on your capital. When the markets were crashing in 2020, when the stock market was crashing in that March-April time period, look what the commodities did during that period. Got off to a slow start early in 2020, and then boom, when the market was crashing, the commodities took off up 260%. All right, but that's the power of commodities and being in the right program. So let's take a look at some actual trades from that time period, during that pandemic time period here. This was on the 5-year Treasury notes. These are great. You can even trade these in a small account. They're only risking $572 per contract. And the profit per contract, you see where they entered here on the buy alert. And then they exited the trade here for a nice $5,300 profit. And that was in January of 2020. Crude oil, here's another one, risking a little more here per contract of $3,300. So you need a little bigger account. But the profit here of $21,450. And notice this was a trade to the short side, right? So they don't just go to the long side. They're able to make money to the short side in these as well. And this was a trade from the end of February in 2020. Here's the E-mini S&P, again, to the short side, okay? And this was in February, closed profit per contract of $24,237. Right, and that's on an initial risk of about $5,000. All right, so some phenomenal gains in 2020. Let me just show you before I get into what all comes with the service. Let me just show you briefly, if I can pull this up here. Here's an actual brokerage statement from one of our clients that is having the commodities program auto-traded. Let's make this a little bigger here. This is William S.'s account at Dorman Trading. This statement date is December 31st of 2019. So basically I want to capture as much of all the activity in 2020. So we're starting at the end of December of 2019. And the way Dorman does their account summary, it's at the bottom of the statement here. So let me go to the bottom of that month of December in 2019 and see where the account started. All right, so they started with a roughly $20,000 in December of 2019. Okay, and I'm going to kind of bottom line this one as well. We're going to go down. All right, so there's January, we're going through February, March, April, May, And let's go down to, I think this goes through October of 2020. There's August, should be September, here's October. So on as of October 30th of last year, so just a few months ago, remember we started the account with 20,000. And let's get to the summary here at the bottom. All right. Now in October of 2020, the account was up to 80,000 at the beginning of October. They added another 11,000 in profit. So the ending balance is now $91,662. Plus there was an some open equity, trade equity of about $1,300. So the account now that went from 20,000 at the end of 2019, right, by October of 2020 is now sitting at 92,000, almost $93,000. And so you're looking at basically 400% gain in about a year's time. All right, so these are actual trading results from a great strategy that has been running for decades. So what do you get with the service? You get the direct alerts to your email or cell phone, plus the daily market position and position recaps, direct access to the Turtles team. So you can contact the Turtles. You have their email, phone number. You can call them, ask about, if you have a question about any particular trade alert, if you've got questions about the strategy, you can call them and hear it right from the source. Of course, education on the methodology, describing the entry rules, the exit rules. Of course, you get access to third-party registered brokers. So if you want to execute the trades yourself, you can do so through any commodity broker that you wish. Or you can have it completely auto-traded for you. So the broker will execute the trades and it's hands-free. So either way, and of course you get access and support from us here at FFR Trading. All right, so if you have any questions or you want to talk about any of our programs, you can call us directly here at FFR Trading. That's 800-883-0524. Support at ffrtrading.com. You see our website there as well. And I will throw in my direct number, which is 832-404-2540. You can call me anytime to discuss these programs. All right. I hope that's helpful, and looking forward to a great 2021.